China can build electric cars, nuclear reactors, hypersonic missiles. Every time the West draws a line, China crosses it. But there is one line that hasn't moved. One technology that, despite sanctions, espionage, and hundreds of billions in state funding, China still cannot replicate. It costs $400 million. It weighs 180 tons, and it is the most complex machine ever built by human civilization. It is built by a Dutch company called ASML. The reason China can't copy it isn't political, it isn't even technological. It's something much harder to defeat than either. Imagine printing a city map onto a surface smaller than a fingernail, 100 layers deep with 0 errors, billions of times a day. That is lithography. That is how every chip on Earth is made. You coat a silicon disk with a light-sensitive chemical, shine light through a patterned mask. The light transfers the circuit pattern onto the surface. You repeat, thinner, smaller, deeper, until you have something that can think. Smaller features mean faster chips, but smaller features require shorter wavelengths of light. By 2015, the industry had pushed its standard light source as far as physics would allow. Moore's law, the engine of every smartphone, every server, every piece of modern civilization, was about to stall. The clock was stopping, and everyone knew it. In 1986, a Japanese scientist named Hiru Kinoshita proposed using light at 13.5 nanometers, extreme ultraviolet (EUV), to print transistors far smaller than anything possible before. The audience laughed, and they weren't wrong to. Light at 13.5 nanometers is absorbed by glass, air, and most ordinary materials. You can't focus it with lenses. You can't run it in atmosphere. To generate it, you'd need plasma hotter than the surface of the sun, inside a machine running every hour of every day. It was, by any reasonable measure, a fantasy. Years later, American engineer Andy Horiluk presented the same idea, laughed off the stage, flew home, told his boss he'd never speak of it again, spent 3 days convinced he'd destroyed his career. 3 days later, the executive vice president of AT&T called and asked him to give the talk again. That phone call is why your phone exists. A small Dutch company called ASML, spun out of Philips in a leaky shed in 1984, decided to try. Many companies saw a dead end. ASML saw an opportunity. They decided to be unreasonable. To produce EUV light, you fire a laser at a falling droplet of molten tin 50,000 times per second without missing a single shot. The plasma is 40 times hotter than the surface of the sun. That light must then be directed. Normal mirrors absorb it instantly, so ASML partnered with Zeiss in Germany to build mirrors polished to atomic level smoothness. Scaled to the size of the Earth, the tallest imperfection would be thinner than a playing card. Then the light must strike the wafer with an accuracy of 1 nanometer, 5 silicon atoms, while parts of the machine move at 20 times the force of gravity. Each dependency had to be solved simultaneously. None had ever been integrated at this level before. It took 30 years. By 2016, ASML shipped its first production EUV machines. But the real breakthrough came in 2018, when customers began committing billions to build EUV fabs and fully bet on the technology. Here is where people get the story wrong. They think China's problem is politics, export controls, American pressure on the Dutch government. Those things matter, but they're not the deepest problem. The deepest problem is that ASML's machine is not a product. It is the physical embodiment of 50 years of compounded human knowledge. You cannot sanction knowledge out of existence, but you cannot manufacture it on demand either. When ASML achieved stable EUV power in 2015, it wasn't one breakthrough. It was 10,000 small ones, how to time 3 laser pulses in 20 microseconds, how to clean mirrors with hydrogen gas without destroying them, how to track a tin droplet through gas flowing at 360 kilometers per hour. None of it is in the manual. It lives in engineers, in calibration systems, in data from millions of wafers. ASML went from first prototype to commercial production in 16 years. That gap is the real lock. No government has found a way to steal time. Beyond that, there are layers. Carl Zeiss has spent over 30 years co-developing ASML's mirrors. That relationship doesn't exist anywhere else on Earth, and the mirrors are under German export controls. China cannot buy them. The laser source traces to Cymer, a San Diego company with American origin technology. Washington decides where these machines go. ASML has never delivered a single EUV system to China. Then there are the upstream bottlenecks. Japan's photoresist industry dominates EUV chemical supply, the coating that makes lithography physically possible. Japanese firms supply the vast majority of silicon wafers the industry runs on. Lasertech makes the inspection tools used to verify photomasks before a single chip is printed. No credible alternative exists. The US controls chip design software, etching through Lam Research, inspection through KLA. In April 2026, America cut off all of it from China entirely. And yet, reports suggest China has assembled an experimental EUV machine in Shenzhen. Manhattan Project secrecy, billions in funding, former ASML engineers recruited, parts sourced through intermediaries. It reportedly generates EUV light. It has not produced a single usable chip. The skeptics are being perfectly reasonable. They cite the mirror problem, the photoresist bottleneck, the 16 years of process knowledge that can't be reverse engineered from a prototype. Every objection is valid, but here is what reasonable people keep forgetting. The consensus has been wrong about China before. Nuclear weapons, hypersonic missiles, electric vehicles. In each case, the West was right about the difficulty. It was wrong about the outcome. ASML's CEO chose his words carefully. China needs many, many years to produce a viable alternative. Not never, not impossible, many years. Kinoshita proposed EUV in 1986. Commercial machines shipped in 2018. China isn't starting from a napkin sketch. It's starting from 4 decades of published research and recruited talent. The gap is real, but it is not infinite. ASML does not wait. Hyper-NA arrives around 2032. China must build what ASML built, while ASML is already somewhere else entirely. That is the real shape of this problem. A moving target anchored in an ecosystem no single government controls, protected less by law than by accumulated human time. The story of EUV was never about a machine. It was about unreasonable people refusing for decades to accept a consensus. China is now the unreasonable one. History suggests that matters. But being unreasonable is necessary. It has never, on its own, been sufficient. The engineers designing Hyper-NA's successor are already at their desks. The finish line is already moving. It never stopped.